Well, I guess I've gone live again because for some reason this is my new life that I apparently am going live and doing all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know when this has been a thing, but I think it is now a thing. So, hey everybody, I'm Lewis Porter Jr. I'm going live. We're talking about comic books. We're talking about cool things about comic books. We're talking about the production of comic books. So, if you're interested in any of these things, do me a huge favor. Come on by, take a look, ask some questions. I like when people ask me questions because I'm really nosy. And we can talk about what's going on, what we're doing, what we're planning. So, I have a small publishing company by the name, well, still under the name Lewis Porter Jr. Design, but we're still going to be changing it soon to our new name. I won't be telling it here because, well, it's not official yet. But when it becomes official, we'll be announcing it here. But we're still under our old publishing name, Lewis Porter Jr. Design. I've had it for the last 25 years. So, if you're a fan of us on our role playing stuff, we're now doing comic books, which is not really a surprise at all to anyone. So, we're talking about comic books, and I'm getting really, really excited about comic books. And the thing that I'm doing now is that I have put together, well, don't just say like I wrote anything. I wrote one thing, but whatever. I have put together several comic books we're getting out, we're getting ready to put out in the next few weeks. We're going to be releasing them. We're just waiting for some artwork to come back and then go to lettering, and then we're going to start putting them out. That's right. We'll officially be a comic book publisher with at least two, maybe four comic books out by January. That's not bad. And so I want to talk about something different we're doing with our comic books that you won't be seeing a lot of places. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. I thought it was an interesting thing. So I wanted to talk about it. So I'm talking about page length of comic books. Some people have a mindset, which I get it, but so the standard comic book that's been probably all the way in my existence has been roughly about 25 pages of content, 32 pages of a book. So you figure the other, 7, 8 pages, depending on the counts, would be just advertisements, filler, that kind of thing. And that's always been kind of the standard. And it's kind of like the standard now, but even now pages are getting smaller and ads are getting more. So you figure the regular comic book is about 25, 24 pages, and that really irks me to my core because I'm like, why in the world would they be so small? But I thought about it, like, well, what can we do differently? And because we're new, we don't have a lot of money, and we know comic book writing and comic book art is expensive. Well, let's do something different. So let's tell shorter stories. Because I also go on the other side of that goes back to the cost of comic book. The cost of a comic book now is about $4.99 per book, 24 pages. That seems a lot to me, and I've always been like, I don't know about that. So I said, okay, how about we do something radically different, radically cool, something that no one else has done, but I think would go very well with us. We make smaller comic books. So our first stories that we're doing are only 8 pages. That's it. And then you're like, 8 pages? That's not even a comic book. Well, yes, it's a short story in a comic book. Marvel Comics Presents did it for years. They had 8 page stories. They did 3 of them in a book. 3 of those. You get excited. You pay for it. You wouldn't think anything about it. So you could tell an 8 page story. You can tell an 8 page story over time. So that's what we're doing. We're focusing on doing 8 page stories that we can tell, small contained ones and stuff like that. We also are doing also 12 page stories because sometimes 8 pages isn't enough. I mean, it isn't. It just isn't. You're trying to start something, you're getting something started, and you need a spread for something, or you need more. You just need more. You need more. So we decided to go to 8. Then we go from 8 to 12. Now, don't get me wrong. Eventually, we will do some 25 pagers, and we have a book that I personally been working on. It's for our Dominion book. This is our Canadian superhero team, inspired by the classic Alpha Flight team. We've done I'm just gonna brag about it. We've done a much better version of Alpha Flight. I never ever understood why Alpha Flight was so trashy. I never got that. I don't get it. They're cool characters. They got cool ideas. Why would we not make them a good thing in the Marvel Universe? And they never did. So I'm like, hey, maybe I think the way to do this is let's find cool things like an Alpha Flight and make them cool. So, if you're a fan of Alpha Flight, if you've always been an Alpha Flight, I've got a great story I'm doing. It's a 12-parter. It has been outlined out. It is really good. We're talking to a couple of our internal writers that help me with the writing. The first issue is, the first issue is probably, I'll say, 70% done. We still need to do art and stuff like that, but the writing part is primarily done. Um, we have the full story fleshed out. We have an outline for it. I told people what I'm doing, why we're doing the big spin in the middle, and there's a lot of cool stories. But I'm doing what the most important thing is I'm making cool characters with cool villains, because for some reason, which I don't understand, that God only knows, uh, we need to make more cool villains, especially more Canadian villains. So we've conveyed some very, very cool Canadian villains. I think this is going to turn out very well. I think this is going to make a lot of sense. And I'm trying to make it very Canadian at the same time, because, it's important, and I think that's important. And this goes back to our original concept of 8-page or 12-page or even 25-page books. So I'm like, right now, we're hitting up the basic 8-page or 12-page. That's where we are right now. I think that's a good number. I think it's a solid number to do. Something that we are doing in our books, so I'll tell you right now, since you'll be seeing them very soon. We're going to be also adding on the 8-page story another page in front of it. I'm calling it our page 0. Our page 0 is a setup for something else going on. It's going to tie through all of our books that we're doing, and you're going to see certain characters, seeing them over and over again. I don't want to tell you the names now, because they're cool characters in the setting. If you're a fan of the role-playing game, you've heard about these two characters specifically, and it's kind of cool. So I'm trying to keep it all like under wraps, but get excited at the same time. So you know how it is. So here we are doing that. That's a lot of fun. All right. So personally, I think 12 pages is kind of the perfect number. 8 is a good starter. If you want to get a new writer on something, you're not sure about them from a publishing standpoint, you want to test them out, 8 pages tells a good story. You can tell a good story in 8 pages. If you can't tell a good story in 8 pages, you can't tell a good story in 24 pages. More isn't always better. You got to focus on just doing the specific thing, telling the good story. And a lot of people have problems with that. A lot of people are not strong at that area. They they try to tell a good story, but they don't do a good job. They try to push it. Dude, tell a good story. Focus on telling an 8-page story, and you can expand an 8-page story. It's very easy to expand an 8-page story to get to 24. Happens all the time in comics. That's why I think some of them are so poor. Wink, wink. But there's ways you can do it and do it better. A 12-page story, very easy also to go to a 24-page story, 25-page story. Also just doubling it, not that complicated, but you get it. So, I think those are the two big points that will make us very different. In our book, like I said, we got the main story, we got our page 0. We also have an introduction page of what's going on in that book. Like so, which one? We'll do Cybermancy, because I know one off the top of my head. So Cybermancy, we talk about the organization Cybermancy. We give you pictures of headshots of the two guys in the story we're talking about, and their quotes at the bottom. So you get a page of that too. Once the story's over, you get the actual credits page. You flip over that page, then we do an old school throwback, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. We're doing our version for the Amazing Universe. It is the character, their history, some pictures of them. You get a good tall size character design of them. You get the whole thing right there. So if it's your first time reading this book, you've never seen this character before, you're like, oh, I wish I could find more about the character. Don't worry about it. It's at the back of the book. You get all the information. Okay, I like this character. And the other characters there too, so they've got one. And any villains will be in there too. So any characters that appear in the book will usually wind up on the back in our little, I don't know if we're going to call it our handbook. The word I've been using now is our Encyclopedia Amazing. I'm not sure about that, but that might be it. So it might stick. So you better get used to it. So that's how it works. So we've got that to work on. And then from there, we'll show you some rough draft artwork of the original characters. Since you've seen the finalized designs, here's some sketches of what they looked like before. And I think that's a lot of fun for the publishing side. So what you thought we might have started with one way, we converted, and what we took from one character to another to make another, that kind of stuff's there available for that. Then we also have the actual script, and it's a PDF form available online. So if you're a writer and you're like, well, how does the script look? What does it look like? Boom, our scripts are at the back. They're fully done in this back, just like art you do, so you can see everything. You can ask questions. You can see what we might have changed from the script to the final version. There might be some slight differences. Why people did certain things the way they did. Not everything that makes it on the script also makes it on the final thing. We make changes, but you get the script to see what we started with, where we were going at, what we were focused on, and in the end, you get the end, the actual book. And then we do another page of an ad for our upcoming books, whatever it might be, and that's it. And the back cover, of course, which you talk about everything. I like promoting our books in our books. So that's very helpful. We'll also be probably putting up ads not just for our regular next book. We'll also be putting up for ads for our Welcome to the Amazing Universe PDF. Like I said, it's available from Drive-Thru RPG, or you can just Google the word. You just Google "Welcome to the Amazing Universe" PDF. It will pop up. We'll go to the page. You download that. It's a 300 plus page of everything going on in the Amazing Universe. Covers all the stuff you can imagine. So if you want to know about it, it's there. It's readily available. You can get it. You can check it out. You'll love it. It's fun. It's all those things. Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, 8 pages. Oh, also with the 8 pages, we're not going to be charging you the full amount because I know a lot of people are like 8 pages. Are you going to charge us $5 for that? No, I've decided our books initially are going to probably the because when we add everything in, it's going to be like 32-page books after everything's added in with the art and all the other stuff that we've added in. We're going to keep the price of these, digitally speaking, not print right now, digitally speaking, at 99 cents. Eventually, the full price will be like $2.29. But when we first released them, 99 cents. Because we know at 99 cents, you can't beat it. It's 99 cents. Even if it sucked and you hated it, it's 99 cents. Come on, dude, it's 99 cents. That's easy. That's less than $1. And some people will be like, well, I don't want to spend $1 just to use my credit card to do that. No, but we know you're going to buy other stuff. You're going to buy some other stuff you like, and then you're going to see our book and be like, just toss it on for $1. It doesn't hurt you. It's $1. And if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it again. But if you like it, you got it for a great price. You can get more for a great price. It's a great book. Everybody's happy. It's a win-win. What more can I say about that? That's pretty happy. All right. Now bits of my tea because it's been me talking like a madman for what 12 minutes. Ooh. And my tea is still very hot as I pull it out. Mm. Yes, very very still hot. 212 degrees. Let's get some water boiling. That's what I'm saying. So, we've got that going on. We've got more stuff coming out. We're writing more stuff. I'm actually, after I get off this live, I'll be continue on finishing an edit I'm doing for a writer who just turned in a great 12-page comic that I'm really going to like. I can't wait to see the artist on this one. The artist we picked is perfect. This is going to be really nice. Really nice book. We got a great colorist on it. This is going to I think this is going to be the one that people are going to read and be like, oh, okay, I like this a lot. I think this is very, very cool. So, what can I say? I love it. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Everybody came by. You didn't have to, but I do appreciate you coming by. Check out us stuff on our Patreon page. Our Patreon. If you're ever confused, just Google Amazing Universe, TTRPG, or just Amazing Universe. We should pop up. We're usually going to be the first one. Click on that. See our Patreon. See the products we're selling. It's lots of fun. It's lots of cool stuff. Support us any way you can. Tell your friends. Like I said, we're going to do a Canadian comic book, so I'm going to start talking about that soon. So people get excited. It's going to be cool. I'm going to love it. You're going to love it. We're all going to love it. Ta-da! It's not that complicated. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you all, I'm guessing, later. Later.